Nomad Richter.
We should say, hi, my name is Nyan Malit, you're Nomad Spod, and we are the Tall Girls Spod. That's
Nomad
better.
Spod. We are the Tall Girls.
The Tall Girls Spod. Welcome back to another episode. We are at Blue Martini.
We're at Blue Martini, Broadwalk Mall. Broadwalk Mall, yeah.
15th floor, Ojiji Road.
Off Ojiji Road.
Off Ojiji Road, yeah?
Okay.
So today on our first story, we're going to give a follow-up story on Omanga. So nothing happened as I expected. If you watched the previous episode, we gave you a debrief of what happened, which was someone leaked her nudes and a nude video, right? Yeah. And it was spreading online and people are bashing her. And I was hoping, I was really hoping...
Should have him arrested.
Yeah, like something like that, like something like that. I was hoping she would speak out other than just that Bible verse. I was hoping she would speak out and
but
we know who the fuck this person is.
But she's talking on TikTok.
Huh? Victim blaming. Victim shaming.
I'm sorry. Because I was expecting more from her and I did not get more. Instead, I felt like Millie Odhiambo, Mabona, was more offended by the crime and willing to stand up more for the crime than the victim. The victim is behaving like we are blind and we didn't see what happened. And that's what makes people get away with things. When you want to just sweep it under the rug and pacify yourself with Bible verses, as I said.
And then in Kenya, Nairobi, we know people for doing stupid things for clout. So I'm like, are you also like clout chasing? Because you don't look like me. Maybe we don't know, maybe she's bothered that she's decided to hide, but I was hoping she would be, like the position she is, she would have done something, because I know she definitely knows who the fuck did this to her.
Yeah, so I don't know, but kuna hopes.
Yeah, but kuna hopes, maybe anatafuta lawyer. On our next outrageous story, wow. I don't even know what to say because this thing sounds like a movie. So, Ebu Sema, because Mr. Mackenzie, we're talking about Mr. Mackenzie here. Pastor Mackenzie.
So Pastor Mackenzie started a church in 2003.
Tell us, Kwanza, what is happening, and then you tell
us. So
what
is happening?
Noel has a booklet of facts. So before she starts with 2017, start with what's happening now. What has come out?
So what did he do? He stabbed people. He made people stab themselves to death.
Because they would go to heaven. He told them they would go to heaven.
They'd meet Jesus and he has a direct line. He talks to God.
This is what he told the guys?
Yeah.
So how did this thing came to light when I think a number of people were found very starved, very hungry, taken to hospital. I think 4 of them died. Yeah. And then now the follow-up now led us to Mr. Mackenzie. Yeah. And then they took us to another forest where they have like shallow graves. Shakahola forest. And they found shallow graves. How many shallow graves? They're still finding people.
As of 2 hours ago, 83 bodies.
83 bodies, and it's like not 83 graves. They were being like piled up in graves.
Yes, he was having like mass graves for some of them. And so back in 2003, him and his wife started like a small church.
He's a pastor, yeah? He's a pastor.
We are going to call him that too.
Yeah, he said he's a pastor.
He started a church in 2003 with his wife. And then it was just like a small church. Then one of their congregants decided to sell all his property and give Mackenzie 20 million Kenyan shillings. I know.
Okay.
I wish he had given me that money. But 20 million Kenyan shillings, gave it to Mackenzie. Mackenzie decided to use the money to buy the land, which now made his...
Shemakoko.
Yeah.
It's called Shemakoko.
Shakahola, yeah. So he bought the land, bought 2 cars, and also started a TV station with that money. So this TV station allowed him to reach more people, because now he was national broadcasting. Everybody in Kenya could see him. And on his TV...
This was back in 2007?
2017.
2017.
He started the broadcast in 2016.
Oh my God.
So in 2016 he started it, but before that, 2015, back then the women's rep for Kilifi was Aisha Juma. Yeah. She complained and then had him arrested, and then he was released on $500,000 bond.
Why did she complain? Were people still getting lost?
Kids were no longer going to school, and women were not allowed to access healthcare when they were pregnant. Like, it was just those crazy things for no vaccine, no school, people are banning their certificates, like literally just denouncing anything the West. He said the US, the UN, and those Western countries are Satan's spawn.
Playground.
Yeah. So he, God's child with a direct line. Pick up the phone, God. So anyway, he decided to do that, and come 2017, he got arrested because Ezekiel Mutua flagged down his TV station for saying things like people shouldn't go to school, no vaccine, and around the same time is when I think there was a conversation about Huduma Center, which to me seemed like the reason as to why the government flagged this station.
Oh, because he was talking
he was telling people no Huduma number.
By the way, what happened to Huduma numbers? Story for another day, but where Otolipanga line?
2017, that happens, his TV station is flagged down, and then he decides, he was actually let go on a 10,000 shillings bond.
Wow.
10,000.
For inciting.
Yeah, and this is after investigation had been, Ezekiel Mutua had sent somebody to carry like an investigation, some guy at the coast, Bonventure Kyoko or something. Nia found enough evidence, forwarded the evidence to DCI. They reached out to DCI and anti-terror unit. And this guy decided to let him go on 10K. So he continued 2017 up to 2023. Those are like what, almost 5 years. 5 years. He continued. Yes, his station was shut down, but he recruited more people. At that point, Kenyans were already listening to him.
Is it 5 years, Kweli? I'm still in the calculation.
Ata mimi, but you know, I suck at math. So anyway, 5 years later, now all this is happening.
Wow. Okay, so when I heard this story, my first thought was like, what would make me starve myself? Because this person said I can starve myself and meet Jesus, and then I die in the like starving yourself is like a slow and painful death. It seems like a day's worth of death. So nikaanza kushanga like, is Makoho? What's his name?
Mackenzie.
Mr. Mackenzie. Mr. Mackenzie has a problem, yeah? But can we also like...
The people.
Yes, what is happening to the people? That's a lot of people. This guy doesn't even look clean.
Yeah, he doesn't even... That's what I was telling you earlier. Like, if I was to meet him as a hawker on the streets, I don't think he'd even convince me. Like, you need an umbrella and it's raining. I'd be like, I'm not sure.
He looks untidy, and then people wakamwamini, wakamfuata, and baka wakajiwa. And I bet there are also kids that died there, right?
Imagine just a cab driver in Malindi before this.
But you know, with cab driving, I can understand.
You get to interact with people, your social skills are ukoju. So he recruited more people, both learned.
Answer my question.
What made people?
Hey,
there are psychosocial problems, meaning as a country, obviously Kenyans are both religious and superstitious. We believe in God, but we also have, hey, mi naogopa kufanya hivi because my culture, or I've been told this, and we are always very scared to question things as a people. When you start asking too many questions, you're disturbing the peace.
Yeah.
So I don't think people join these churches with, hey, this does not make sense. You cannot...
Well, this does not make sense, definitely walienda. But a big number was like, yes, this is working for me.
But you know, some of them, when you try to leave, you'd be strangled. Some of the people who are dug up looked healthy, so meaning they did not starve to death. They were killed.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, this is scary. Okay, this reminds me of the John Jones story, Jim Jones. Yeah, the guy in Guyana. Like, even him, he took, alifanya watu watoke mali walikuwa, wakamfuata, just religious shit. Religious stuff, I'm sorry. Religious stuff. Akawafuata, wakaenda mpaka Guyana, Johnston. And there, they stayed for a while, but people were looking for them. this guy convinced everyone to take poison. They were crying and refusing, but they did it. Wakajiua, like 900 people died on that day. Because this person told us, let's take poison, like this world is not for us.
Most people, and especially when people are very desperate or going through like major life changes, like losing a child and shit like that, we tend to want a gospel of prosperity. Like somebody telling you, it's going to be okay. You just need to do this. It's going to be fine.
Then kill yourself?
Yes, you kill yourself in the hopes of, hey, maybe this will relieve me from this worldly problems. And most Kenyans actually have codependency personalities. You don't really have a mind of your own. We follow things. We are followers. We are not
afraid of being the black sheep.
We're afraid of telling people, hey, this does not agree with me. We are looking stupid.
And also I'm trying to understand, maybe these guys stayed together for a long time, so they also have formed like a community of sufferation together.
It's like you've trauma bonded.
Yes, trauma. Guy.
Yeah, so it's messed up. You see people who are even leaving their jobs, living their lives.
Like the air hostess.
Like the air hostess. Like, sold everything, took, I think, maybe 9 million to him. People were selling their things and giving him the money. He was telling you whether you can quit your job or not. They had ceremonies where they were burning down their certificates. Like, mnakuja pamoja with your primary certificates, high school, university, all the things you've ever achieved. Bonfire. Woo. So it's
story to our high school. We used to have a bonfire like after Form 4, all the Form 4s meet, and then we just have a bonfire, burn all the books, textbooks. Unafika home.
That is so stupid.
Umechoma dictionary. Everything burns.
Yeah, so you see, as a country, I think the government failed on so many levels. The corrections failed by releasing him. The executive failed when Aisha Joma knew what was happening and decided to just not push it.
But wait, how many cults do we? Cults like
or what?
Congregations do. How many cults like congregations do we have? Like, I don't think you can start arresting people because people are following them and willingly giving them their things and willingly killing themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still like, what is this crime, by the way?
Exactly. No, that's another thing. Legally, according to the law, the prosecutors are going to have a hard time pinning a crime on him. I think the most obvious crime in all this is burying people without license, without who allowed you to bury them in those shallow graves and everything. They did not adhere to our burial regulations according to the government. But honestly, I think it's going to be hard. It's more of, mostly people do crimes nowadays in Kenya that are morally upsetting, but then the law. Because now you're mentioning that he's a terrorist.
Yeah, the president said he's a terrorist.
Yes, because if you look at the numbers,
how many people have been found so far, by the way?
So far...
You say 10 have been found today morning?
83 as of 2 hours ago.
What?
But according to casualties of religious extremism, he's the 3rd highest in Kenya at the moment.
Oh.
So he's killed more people than Dusit attack, than Westgate attack, than the Mpeketoni attack.
Yeah, he's a terrorist.
He's currently competing with Garissa University and the 1998 bomb blast.
Wow. Yeah, this is like something crazy happening in our generation, Kwanza. This guy should be... I'm hoping that's what I'm funga.
For what?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But what is the crime? When do we find criminal justice?
Exactly.
That's what I'm
telling you guys. Whoever is going to prosecute him is not going to have a field day in court. There are so many crimes. To me, so far, his biggest crime is kids don't have a mind of their own. So the kids he'd taken out of school, you know.
Where were the parents?
Exactly. Some of them did not have parents. Some of them went with their parents. So you see, that's another thing. Now the crime is on the parent, not on him. The only crime that I saw, if they can prove the people that were found in the shallow graves who are not malnourished, then they can prove something happened to them. then there is possibility of manslaughter, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he can claim, I was not in the right mind. There was a guilty act, maybe a guilty mind. Actually, he had a guilty mind, he didn't have a guilty act. He didn't kill you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, in crimes, for crimes to happen, there has to be a guilty mind. You have to have thought about it.
He has thought about it.
And then a guilty act, killing the person.
Oh, he did do the act.
So he thought about it. He didn't kill you. He didn't... Yeah. His biggest crime is, I went on there, and I buried these people without burial certificates. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. For me, I think he barely has any crime, to be honest. He doesn't even make it to murder charges. Yeah, so it's more of us feeling and being emotional about it. Ruto finally deciding he is a terrorist. But you see all these people who are crying were in the government when this was happening. It's not like they're brand new.
My question is, did they know what he was doing? Was he killing people then? Or was he just inciting people? Okay, don't take the vaccine, don't do this. Was he doing that, or did he start killing people then and they knew?
He was doing enough crimes to be behind bars then.
But a lot of people commit crimes and are outside here. But what was he doing that they would have known that he's
kids not going to school? Kids have the right to be in school. You taking them out is a crime.
Yeah, that is a crime, but like, how would they have known? Let's arrest this guy, ama ukombele atauwa wase. Ataambia watu wajinyonge, wajikalishe njaa mpaka
if you're shutting down his TV station because of things, inciting. Ezekiel is now getting on TV and telling us, or he's inciting people and telling people about Huduma number, and shutting him down then and even claiming he did and said things that now I can't bring myself to even say on national broadcast. Like in every essence of the world, every arm of the government failed its people in this Mackenzie story.
That is true.
According to me.
And I'm assuming people were also reporting that people missing.
Yeah.
Saying that we last left
locals
them with
were
Mr.
saying,
Mackenzie.
like, that man is being weird. He had to move from some part of Malindi and now move to Shakahola.
Oh, Shakahola siko oiko Malindi?
It is, but he had to move like from Malindi to Kilifi, sort of. Yeah.
Wow, okay, this is a sad story, but what we can agree is he's not the only person running a cult.
Yeah.
Religious cults are things that have like become a norm in Africa. Kwanza hata hizo kutuma pesa nyingi. I'm not like bashing anyone, I'm just saying.
Daddy and mommy.
Yeah, you're calling the pastor daddy and mommy. Like, we see religious leaders as like figures that they are like more connected to God than us, but they're like human like us. So it's like lack of knowledge. Hata watu ni kama wajisomei Biblia. Juu hakuna mtu ako like directly connected to God. We are all the same.
From like another perspective, being so desperate and having nobody there with you as you're facing challenges. Currently, people don't have jobs.
Yeah,
people have all
hard.
these issues. You're losing your people. Probably guys died during COVID. And then there's somebody who's telling you there's kidogo hope. And now you find like
but no food. Hope without food? What is
know,
that?
Me, I can't even stay hungry for all day. I quit.
But I don't know what words he would have used to make people like,
hand me,
please. And then him is eating because he's
he looked very healthy. Even his first court appearance with his wife, they look healthy. That woman looks like she knows where to find Carolite. Like, where are the rest of you looking so dusty?
Hey,
it's
manipulation. Manipulation at the highest order. Yani, tukona mashida, seriously.
Yeah, so for me, on this one, the government failed its people.
Yeah, there's no one else to blame other than the government, of course. Everything is your fault.
Everything is your fault.
Everything, even, like, everything is your fault. Na sasa uyo Mr. Mackenzie.
What did he do?
Like, what is wrong with his head? Like, he might be, like, wrong for society, but now lawfully, sasa sijui what they're going to catch him on.
Morally, we are all upset.
Yeah,
but what
like,
did he do?
Sasa kwani government watajifunga? Si hata watu ni sisi kuwakasirikia.
Ni sisi tu kuwajamia. I feel like it's more, we are coming from a more of an emotional place and just shocked that all this is happening. And watu tu yani mmenyamaza tu.
But a lot is happening in Kenya. It's like we're in a game. It's not a simulation. They call it simulation. What is this?
Cosplay.
Yeah, because...
But it's for a country that is so troubled, we have less than 200. I think I'm even giving it a higher number. Less than 200 psychiatrists in Kenya. For a country that is falling apart in every essence of the world, we have less than 200 psychiatrists. Who's going to deal with all these crazy
graduate
people?
Psychology wanaweza ongelesha watu? Bila kufanya kitu. Watu wa graduate psychology wanaweza saidia mtu kweli? Yeah, I said no. So yeah, maybe 200 because I know a couple of people.
I'm giving it a higher number. They're like it's 100 and something.
Try to talk to psychology students. Like try talk to someone. Yeah, we can't just bank on these 200 psychologists.
Yesterday I was watching a lady who was saying she's a psychiatrist, and she was saying she's been doing like rounds in churches. Some churches that are very open-minded actually invite her to talk to them that there is God and there is a way we pray to him, but then we also have worldly problems that need other ways to be fixed. Yeah, so she goes to these churches talking to people, like letting them open up to her, because you need more than prayers.
You do.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wow.
Why are you shocked?
What am I shocked about?
Mackenzie.
Yeah, this story is weird. Like, I don't think anyone expected something like this in this time in Kenya. Isn't it what you were saying? What?
We've outshined Ugandans for the first time.
We have, yeah. I even saw it on BBC website. I was like, guy, we're embarrassing ourselves back at Uku.
I don't think we're embarrassing ourselves.
We're just showing our true colors.
What are they, do they say what has come home to roost finally? Kuku zimekuja nyumbani kutaga. It's been ongoing. All these things just didn't, they didn't wake up in April and they're like, let's be crazy.
Yeah, it's been a while. Wow, yeah. Wow.
So the second story.
Well, okay, so before we continue, what the fuck is happening in Kileleshwa? Ni Kileleshwa ama Kitengela?
Kitengela and Kasarani.